Warriors, it's 11 a.m. EST, time for Mike and me. Hi, Mike. How you doing today? Pretty, active week. A lot of swings. You doing all right, buddy?
Yeah, am I doing okay? Yeah, we want the active. We want the swings. You know that, Coach. We're doing fine. Thank you.
Okay, so just quick review about planning trades. So when I came in here Monday, Sunday night we had this gap lower opening in US dollar yen. So in Monday's video, I said, I'm looking to short the yen into the gap after a hot CPI. This was a hot CPI. Here was a high. It didn't fill the gap. I took partials and the yen is still lower. I need closes. I believe it's 46.14 for a 2-week reversal. But what's interesting about the yen being lower is lower with the dollar being stronger, which is unusual. Normally, you have a strong dollar, you have US dollar yen higher. So it may be signaling that the market is looking for some interest rate relief. Here's the 10-year, it's unchanged. But the only other thing I could think of is the BOJ is up to something, but it is unusual activity. The other thing I want to point out with the dollar, making new highs for the move, it's been pretty relentless. We are starting to diverge up here, but, followers know that I'm looking for 108. I've been talking about that for a while. Something interesting, I don't believe it's the beginning of the trend, but followers know I was bearish in the silver up here around 24.5 to 24.80. Quite a ride. We broke down here, but with US dollar yen coming off, we're getting a little bit of a reversal, stronger reversal in gold as it's holding above these lows. So perhaps we're going to get some type of bounce out of the precious metals with US dollar yen trending lower if it turns out to be some type of trend. I have to say, Mike, with a strong dollar, I'm very impressed with how the S&Ps have completely shaken it off. We were getting through 4,500 resistance right now. And I heard it's being led by financials today. I was in the room and you're talking about a lot of call buying going on in the banks. And I'm wondering if they're backing it up with time and they're not just say they are.
Good question. That's fair because you thought maybe they would be taking advantage of hedge funds being aggressively short stocks, as we said before. There's no argument there. I don't think it's, you're seeing that come to fruition in some areas today. Hedge funds covering, you have BY, Beyond Meat is up, stocks like that, Carvana stock. But to get back to your question with Citibank, they're going out till January, and some of them are going out till February. Citibank being the one that's been going out the longest because it's been the one that's been beaten up the most. Yeah. So it's going to take some time. That's what I'm thinking. And they've been and the right type of calls. Like I said, they're not taking advantage of a quad witch, an OPEX, a short squeeze, over positioned on negative sentiment, which we would think it looks like, but the other ones are catching flow as well and have been. So
interesting.
They're not out of the proverbial woods, but with how they're going out time wise, they're figuring that they might not be right away, but they're going to be right later on.
Okay, great point. XLF, pushing against resistance right here. City, nice move out of the hole. And, maybe they're tying it in with they expect some interest rate relief. Fed do nothing, yen coming off, that perhaps yields are going to start falling.
I would actually think that would be it. I would think the latter, correct.
Okay, so
it's just not, if they were cheap, they would have started buying them a week ago, 2 weeks ago, you know what I mean? So there's something to propel them up this way. It's not like a major crowded short area. You know what I mean? It's the financials have been telling their hand, but the right calls have been going. The bottom line, JP Morgan, PNC, and Citibank.
Okay, yeah. So here's JP Morgan as well.
Why not?
Yeah, they all look good. In fact, I'm considering getting out of my regional puts. I'm in KRE.
Sure.
It's not as strong, but see, the regionals are still weaker. They're not going into any of that stuff,
Oh,
are
I
they?
agree. There are a handful of regionals that a relative weakness player would be shorting right now with them underperforming the market, the relative sector, with the market seemingly going up, pretty nicely at this moment, the VIX at lows. So yeah, I wouldn't talk you off shorting something of that magnitude, but I just think that the trade's been over to a degree. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So here's a 10-year yield. So we peaked on the hot CPI, just like the yen. So
Correct.
the correlation with the yen and yields, if the yen's heading lower, yields are coming off, and that may be what the market is smelling. What's interesting, though, the shorter end of the market is coming off. But you look at TLT, I'm not impressed. Okay, so the 10-year has made a lot more progress to yields coming lower than the long end, which means the opposite of what's been happening if this continues. Remember, everyone was worried about the inversion of the yield curve.
I
Well,
do.
this action actually means steepening, where the
Well,
short end falls faster than the long end makes the yield curve steepen.
I agree, Coach. That makes sense. But we started off the segment saying that you are surprised at how things are holding up, or to
Yeah,
a degree. Now,
yeah.
like I said, this could be, and this could play catch up in any given moment. We always talk, Coach, because we're articulate. I could give you 100 reasons why the market can go up and 100 down, and probably compelling for every direction. Seriously, the market agreed is at neutral. They're rotating properly. I'm not, of course, crude going through 90 a barrel and the crude stocks holding this way. I get it. Is it a sign? But it doesn't really matter. I'm not an economist. My job is to not be right. It's to take money out of the market.
Are they going into any of the techs, like they're going
Yeah,
into
Google,
banks?
pouring into
Google.
Google.
Okay, not Microsoft. What
No.
lit up Amazon yesterday?
What lit it up?
Yeah,
Relative strength.
okay. New recovery highs, because relative strength, it certainly hasn't been a leader with Microsoft and Apple making all-time highs. You have, even though we've had some nice action in Amazon here, look how far we are off all-time highs, whereas, Apple did make new all-time highs up here. Quite a few made all-time highs up. The semis did. Anyway, interesting.
Listen, Coach, you go to Amazon weekly chart.
I
I'm not
did.
going to argue with that. I don't care if they make widgets. I don't care what that they make Starburst. I'm not going to argue with that.
Okay. I mean, it's finally getting taking out the August high, which,
But it's also showing massive relative strength as opposed to the Nasdaq. You're comparing Amazon to all time. I'm comparing the Amazon to what the Nasdaq is doing recently.
okay.
A chart is not where a chart it's been. It's really where it's going. Correct?
Yeah. And you know what? AMD looks okay. Looks like a
Yeah.
flag on the weekly,
Yeah.
doesn't it? Okay. So maybe the melt up has started in the S&Ps, and we'll just blow through 4,600 here. So I would think, after talking to Andy Constant, he said, we need a bad bond market for the stock market to go lower. And if rates and yields are going to moderate, that does nothing for even the correction case for the bears.
Well,
So interesting week. I'm going to turn over the charts to you, Mike, and take us through your routine and what you're doing today.
I appreciate that, Coach. Give me a second as I could take off all these bad things that I'm looking at. I'm being facetious. The bottom line is, as we're here on a Thursday of a major OPEX week,
That too is happening.
on also at the end of the quarter, you got to be aware. But seasonality, let's talk about it. I get it. It's actually been working to a degree, and not on cue or on point. I don't think sell in May went away worked, but
No.
this is one of the past couple of this last 2 weeks in September is notably a weak time. If you want to go by seasonality, you want to go by earnings. 98% of the companies have already reported. I don't see much Fed speak in front of us. You get past a little bit of seasonality and you have these hedge funds that are still underinvested in stocks. I understand the VIX is suppressed. That's the real negative. It really is, because there is complacency. There's when you have the VIX this suppressed and you have these hedge funds, and it's something that it's a major sentiment tool that we use. I'm not just looking for a bull or bear. I'm mixed. There's always an issue with me because I'm mixed. That's fine. There's always some good things because I'm mixed. But I don't see, there's the Bank of America calls. PNC, they're going to October. I want to see where this arm open. Is arm open yet? Hold on, give me a second. You know what? It doesn't even matter. Gold, I don't like this chart. Okay.
You want to show your charts?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought
Yeah.
I was showing this.
There we go.
Am I showing TradeGATEHub?
Yes.
Okay. According to the JP Morgan desk, overall sentiment has cooled off. We're still in the neutral area. Sentiment position remains stretched to mega cap. So does one day make a reversal because Amazon's down 40 cents? Or I understand where Apple has been. I get it. I understand where Microsoft's doing. It's up a couple of dollars. But there are plenty of stocks that are breaking out of not very, very nice ranges. Like I said, I'll get to the charts in a second. I got some coffee on my freaking mouse here. My thumb is thickened. Let's go to some things. All right, sentiment. Obviously, oil's bringing it back up evenly out. Mega caps are down a little bit, so sentiment is still neutral. The banks being up nicely, and I'll go to my quotes. I just don't want to look at them in the corner of my eye because I get distracted. Sentiment is still neutral. Fear and greed is still neutral.
What's that? You were showing something by Helene underneath that.
You got it
before.
Let me go up to something else.
Fast.
Well, I'm going to show something too. I was answering myself.
Okay.
Thank God I wasn't answering myself when I talked to myself, though. Here it is. All right. CPC was at 1.14 as of yesterday. Yesterday's put call ratio was the highest since the spring. We talked about this on Tuesday's show, Coach. How all the put everybody, you know what I mean? How all the puts have been they've been buying puts for some time. Now it's actually feels like it's a little bit of a beach ball underwater as we go into the expiration and everybody goes to scramble. I'm not saying it's going to continue through the next couple of weeks, because as we sit here with everybody all bared up, I don't know if it's because the mega caps are taking a rest. I don't know if it's Kellogg's breaking a multi-year low. I don't know if it's crude going to 90, but whatever. Everybody's all bared up, including the hedge funds. And you're going to go back to the red YouTube button and go to TGH where we posted on Monday to go back to all the data. I don't think it goes back that far anymore because we post all the data. Just give me a second. So what I'm saying is they're finally starting to catch some bids in financials. Is that okay? So maybe the megas take a little rotation. Maybe some of these stocks like Macy's or J-Win or Dollar General that has start bouncing a little bit. Here's the money. Hedge funds take the break. They get aggressive on the short side in individual names. That's why you're still seeing Carvana up. That's why you're seeing a Beyond Meat up today. That's why you're seeing another couple of these short stocks go up as the mega caps rest. Yes, they're stretched, but as we know, one day it doesn't make a reversal. Here I go. S&P value stocks are relative to growth stocks by one of the largest margin in 13 years. So is there going to be a reversion to the mean where they buy, keep buying Weight Watchers and selling Nevada? Or, it's yet to be determined. But I'm playing tactical to the next day and a half into option expiration, trying to remember, not being cliche, that price action trumps sentiment. I get it. Monday maybe I'll reevaluate, but here I'm trying to stay focused on that short-term wave of what's going on. I'll go to my screen.
What would you do with Apple here, Mike?
What would I do with it? Okay, here's my screen. Here's ARM about but what I do with Apple, here's the long-term on Apple. That's a weekly. What would I do with Apple? I'm going to tell you exactly what I would do. Obviously, some type of floor is in. It could have one of these breaks where it still goes low. What would I do for me? This is what it's going to do. It's a gauge of the market. It's in the quote. It's what I would call when I first learned to trade. If it's in the danger zone, it could very easily bounce. It could very easily go down. It's more a macro picture for me. If I had a gun to my head, You know, gun to my head every time it has these, you know, these volume, you know, coach, I don't know, gun to my head. I haven't had a gun in my head in a while, thank God. I
Yeah.
don't know. What would you do? I mean, I don't like answering a question with a question, but what would you do? You probably have a better answer.
I think that it still has problems ahead of it.
Well, I
And may
wouldn't argue
I
either.
sell any rally towards 180. I don't think the breakaway gap is going to be filled. There is a breakaway gap there, so we'll see. That would take new all-time highs in the market. There's what's this one? That looks okay.
That's called APP. It's the only one in the freaking country, if not the world, buying it down at 9. Now it's 42.
Wow, nice.
Yeah, some of these stocks, AAOI, which I was short, I covered it yesterday. Thank God, dead cat bounce. I am some short of firm. I don't know why.
Uranium's still flying.
I shorted some CC. Yeah, they are. CCJ went to 40 this morning. I think capitulated at 40, by the way. So many calls coming in that, coach.
Yeah.
Coming into
late.
option expiration at 40.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to get stops hit at 40, over 40, and I had offers to short out at like 40, 13, 40, 24, unless they all got hit. And then I thought, listen, I don't think it's over, but just like I told you how I'm playing the options, there's taking a ton of calls coming at the end of the quarter. I get it.
Yeah.
So I'm not, it's a trade. I'm not saying it's over, but I was out there. I put in TG.
Nice. That was a nice scalp.
Well, I didn't get the trade, but I was out there to get over 40. Never did. It's
see.
probably because
Okay.
It's probably because on ARCA they sold like 20. Well, actually, stock stick.
They front run. They were front running you.
Yes, they did.
Okay.
But it's a good idea. Next. What are you gonna do?
Right. Oil's holding up okay. Oil's higher again.
Yeah, EOG had to shake out yesterday. Actually, it came in a little bit. But EOG, yes. SU. I was short Halliburton. I covered it. I tried to get fancy yesterday. I had some decent volume on the downside. I covered it around here. But where is it? There's my blue. 42.28 went to 42.50. I lost like 30 cents in it or something. What's still going? Weight Watchers pulling in. Etsy, AMC, this WeWork still active. WeWork, a stock that's gone from $1 to $6. It doesn't look that way. So what's weak? Coin. Amazon now positive. They had a chance to blow it out. Microsoft, they had a chance to blow it out. Now I wouldn't touch it. Now it looks like it's higher. They had a chance. NVIDIA went red to green. I mean, it's still on the, it's almost like I feel that Apple, although I hear NVIDIA is going to 500 again. I'm not going to lie. Disney, Path, NIO, nothing.
There is Fed speak, Mike. I think we have a Fed meeting next week.
Okay.
So he'll say something.
No, you know what? I said for a while meant until Friday. So I apologize for being a little bit short term.
All right.
But let's look at the Wiseguys, as we always like to leave it back. Is anybody else commenting here? So I can answer questions. Okay, no. X, what's doing on there? No. Wiseguys. It's all accounts. Boom. Okay, let's look for the past. All right, let's look what Jesus said. A wave of buying, playing off more VIX selling. Nothing really notable as far as buying sweepers on September calls. Tech, I posted. Anti-VIX may be an issue of this week's, meaning the market's due for a little bit of a, you might, even Goldman said you might want to buy some calls, which I don't trust, but Tech, I posted this a million times on TradeGATEHub. Anti-VIX were a little Carvana bearish. I wouldn't put much credence. Uranium rolling up some profits. I get it. That's why they pulled back a little bit. CFG, a financial catching a January bet as well as a insider buying. It is noted. Chewy, Meta, September calls. They're playing short term. NSC, Carvana bearish, September. So anything I see now until 11:20 a.m. on a Thursday morning is going to be either very short dated, or they're probably going to wait until next week to bomb anything with any conviction going long term.
Yeah, the only conviction seems to be going out to next year in the bank shares.
That's correct.
Okay. All right. Well, that's a pretty good wrap for today with a lot of economic news. Can't kill the U.S. consumer. They're still spending like crazy, buddy.
I don't know about that, Coach. Hold on. You look at the chart on Macy's here. You look at the chart on Dollar General.
So retail, were retail sales weak? We had so many economic numbers today, I couldn't keep track. We had
I don't get, well,
CPI.
obviously, it answers your own question. Look at the charts, and obviously did nothing.
Yeah, there you go. So if
A
there
stock
was a
like
retail
Kohl's,
sale,
even the cheap one, Kohl's, have a look at some luxury brands. Let's look at Estee Lauder. Luxury, nothing.
yeah, they're worried
How
about
about this Restoration Hardware? The Warren Buffett's one for it's the high-end Home Depot. It's already pulled
Okay.
back 50%, holding,
Yeah.
if you will. So
Yeah.
retail's not spending. I mean,
Okay.
General Motors, I don't know what they're spending on. I don't
Yeah.
know. Odd, are they buying Harleys? No. So maybe they're trading. IBKR, year highs. JP Morgan bouncing. Goldman Sachs. They're all, maybe they're trading. Bring it on. Get yourself a TradeView demo if you want to have a longevity in trading life. We're going to help you.
Nice offer. All right. Well, I wish I had someone like you when I started.
No,
So,
I wish I had. Listen, I had me too, but I was taught. I was taught to be a day trader. I was taught to take money out of the market. I started as a speculator, trading for trading 80,000 shares for half. For a half.
yeah.
Now you have to expand it. I can't trade it. I used to.
Well, you were younger.
That's fine.
It's a young man's game. So anyway, you're still young, Mike.
No,
Young
it's
at
all good,
heart.
Coach. It's all good.
All right. So enjoyed spending another week collaborating with you. Thanks for keeping us in tune with where the big money is going and what your ideas and interpretations of it is. You do a great job in the room, moderating that room. People are shortchanging themselves to not check it out.
No, I
So,
appreciate that, Coach, as well. The thing is, it's not, listen, you're not never going to be short of what financial or instruments are moving. I'm changing my priorities of what I say about high-end, high-end opinions. We've done it. You're not going to be short of what's moving. The thing is, I'm not trying to teach people my plan. I'm not trying to teach a coach's plan or vice versa. It's over a combined over almost 100 years of experience. People that are high level traders, what they look at. I don't have the better plan. I might do my plan better than maybe other people do their own plan. That might be because of experience, whatever it may be. So the most important thing is develop your own style. Get on a demo on TradeView Markets. We'll help you out in any particular way. The basic theme is what we do at TradeGATEHub is not splitting the atom, and a lot of people do it. We might do it a little bit better. It's on sentiment, price action, volume. We didn't make that up. Volume is like oxygen to humans as it is to traders. Price action and range. I mean, range is living in New York City. If you don't want range, live in LA and Montana. There's nothing wrong with it, but we're range. Live in New York City. I'm in New York. Coach is in freaking LA. You know what I mean? So we give you the action. We give you range.
home on the range. Thank you, buddy.
Cheers. Thanks for tuning
All
in.
right, man.
Have a
All
plan. We'll
right.
see you at the lunch.
Hey, everyone, don't just count your pips.